Good morning, everybody. So I've got a little prep station set up here as I am working on making our breakfast, which tends to be the easiest thing to do, in my opinion, as you're prepping to go to camp. Just go ahead as you make dinner, as you make breakfast, and add a little bit of prep to your camp work. So I've made us an omelet this morning, and as I'm making that, I already have the ingredients out, so I'm going to go ahead and get our boiling bag ingredients. If you'll put your bag inside a bowl, that helps a lot, especially since I'm trying to do this one-handed. So you go ahead and you crack your egg into the bag. And as I said, I'm doing this one-handed, so I'm going to double check it for any eggshells. I don't see any. And I've already got some ham and cheese cut up here on the plate, so I'm just going to add those in. And then you want to just sort of give it a little squish so that you scramble your eggs. And make sure you get the air out of it without getting the egg squished out. We have just a little bit more of our prep food here. My crock pot is one of my favorite kitchen appliances ever. So yesterday while we were at work, our chili was cooking because, like I said, I'd go ahead and prep ahead of time. We did brown some ground beef for another recipe for dinner, and I kept some extra out for the chili. So now our chili is ready for the trip. We freeze everything flat. That way we can put it in the ice chest stacked on top of each other, frozen, and it'll thaw out from the top to bottom. And we use what's on top first. That helps keep the ice chest cold. And we put a little dry ice in the bottom just to help keep it all frozen. So that's our tip for the day. Well, we left our dry box out on the porch. This is the box that we put our dry food in when we go camping. So we're about to find out just how good of a dry box it is, since it rained a big storm yesterday and everything up here is absolutely soaked. So just gonna check inside, and oatmeal is still dry. Looks like we have a winner. Hey everybody, yes, I'm at it again. I'm about to do some prep work for some of our camp foods. And for dinners for the next few nights. So I will update you when I get a few things cut up and let you know where we're going with this. Partially to give you some ideas when you go camping. Some easy foods that will freeze well that you can use when you need to stick something in the cooler and keep it cold for a few days. So we have a little bit of beef sausage, some squash, some zucchini, little bell pepper. We're gonna put a little olive oil in there and add some minced garlic and a few spices. And we've got some for now, some for later. This is part of our trip. Enjoy. Okay, and the last one we're doing for the night, a little bit of fajita mix. Again, one for this week, one for next. I do buy this wonderful Harps fajita seasoning. Absolutely amazing. If they don't have it out in your Harps, ask the meat department. They usually have it in the back, and you can buy it. It's so good. So we have we're going to separate these. We're going to put them in plastic bags, and again lay them flat and freeze them so that they are good to go for our trip. So excited to go, can't wait. Hey, so I'm back at it again. I'm going to finish up my food prep for the Colorado trip. I've got some of it prepped already. This is a recipe that Bruce and I sort of invented on our own after we ate at a wonderful place. When we went to Maine, we stopped at Bar Harbor and ate at a little cafe, and they had what they called a cheeseburger soup. And it was amazing. We sat there, both of us eating it, trying to figure out what exactly is in it. So this is our version of cheeseburger soup from Bar Harbor, Maine. I've already browned the ground meat, so browned the ground beef, I can't talk. So we're gonna add that first and just sort of get that out of the way. And as I've told you before, I love my crock pot. As you can see, it is very, very well used. So I'm going to put this in here and let it just kind of simmer for the day, and it'll be ready to bag up and put in our freezer for part of it for the trip, part of it for later, for when it gets a little bit colder than it is right now. We also add some bacon, which I have already cooked. And some onion. And bell pepper. We prefer, pickles. I don't even know what ingredients I'm putting in there. Dill pickles, which was a little odd for us, having dill pickles in a cheeseburger soup. That was different. I've had hamburger soup of all varieties before. I've never had a cheeseburger or hamburger soup that actually had dill pickles in it. So those are chopped up dill pickles and a little bit of garlic. So we like garlic. Some taco seasoning. I just get the mild taco seasoning. Bruce doesn't like anything really super spicy, so we get mild in our house. I like spicy, he does not. Then a red pepper tomato soup base. This is one of the best tomato soups I have ever found. Love to get it when they actually have it in stock. It's great for a base, but it's also great just to heat up and eat with some grilled cheese. So we're going to put our tomato soup in there. And just a little bit of whipping cream just to give it that little bit of creaminess for the soup. And a bit of beef broth. That I just sort of wing. I kind of look at it and see how much I think it needs. Just kind of the thickness you want of the soup. I don't typically put a lot in mine. I like my soup to be creamier. So I don't put quite as much in mine as you might, but that's just a matter of choice. So that's what it's going to look like. And we're just going to let it cook for the day. And then, like I said, we will bag it up and get it ready to go. And then the last thing I wanted to cover is what we're taking the food in. We do use a Lifetime ice chest. The Lifetime ice chests do have the locking mechanism to sort of keep it a little bit more airtight. But the one thing you want to remember with that is, if you are using dry ice in the bottom, which we do, you do not want that to be completely sealed off. If you keep dry ice in it, it does need to be vented so you don't blow the lid off of your ice chest. Now, ours does have the handy dandy little screw off vent, as most ice chests do have a vent of some sort. Ours actually screws on. So when we did our trip in out west in 2020, we actually had the tailgater on the back of my Jeep. With the tailgater, we just left that open and let it vent. But we put dry ice on the bottom, we put frozen food on top of that, and we put regular ice on top of that, just to help keep it cold. So as the regular ice starts melting, it's got to go somewhere. That being said, this trip we are putting this inside because we're not taking the tailgater, we're taking the four-door Jeep. With this inside, we, one, do not want it vented inside the Jeep. We don't want any chemicals in there. We also don't want water draining all over our floor. So we had to come up with something a little bit creative to be able to use the dry ice and drain the water while keeping the ice chest inside. So here's Bruce's solution to our ice chest problem. So Bruce is getting ready to fix this problem so that we have a way to drain it while we're on the road.
One end's got a washer in it. it under there. Oops.
Yep, I got it.
Screw it on. Just like that.
Okay,
Done deal.
so now we can put the dry ice in there and it'll still
Yep.
be vented and it'll get the water out. Perfect. So I thank you all for watching. We are looking forward to this trip. Can't wait to go. I think we've kind of walked you through what we're taking as far as we're doing the chili, the soup. I've already patted out the hamburger patties. We've talked about the boiling bags. We will also take some less prep ingredients or meals, like maybe some brats, things like that. We will also most likely between now and then smoke a pork butt, take some of that with us to have barbecue or barbecue nachos. We did freeze the fajitas like we talked about. We did freeze the sausage and veggies. So all of that is really good to go. Excited about the food. And for us, you know, food is a big part of a trip. We love food. We love to eat. But we also don't want to spend a lot of time on it, a lot of cooking time and a lot of cleaning time when we're on vacation. Because, I mean, let's face it, we're on vacation. We're out there to have fun. We're not out there to cook and clean. So I hope you enjoy all these tips. I hope they help you out and give you some good ideas on how to keep your food frozen and how to work less and play more. Hope you have a great time. Look forward to hearing about your adventures.